Kick to the gut. I like it.
I see you repping the Kick to the Gut Cup and everything.
Of course, bro. I rap Kick to the Gut. I rap UFC. Guys, give us some sponsorships, guys. Come on.
Already we're starting with the shameless plugs, huh? Okay,
man.
it's Mr. Young.
And it's foreign in the building. Bro, it's been a busy weekend. I mean, like, what the hell are we doing streaming on Valentine's Day, bro? What's going on, bro?
I know, right? Hey, bro, you are like my Valentine's Day date today.
Yeah. I saw somebody post on Instagram. Oh, I think it was Singapore Wrestling Society. When you're single on Valentine's Day, then it was Batista. I walk alone.
Oh, hey, Edison, how you doing? Thanks for joining us on the live stream. Good afternoon. Hey,
What's up, Edison?
Monday afternoon, maybe you're going out for your Valentine's Day dates later, whatever the case may be. Or if you're just spending it alone, you know what? Hey, it can also be Singles Day, you know? Just spend some time with the person that truly matters, that's yourself.
Yeah, man. I mean, bro, guys, for the longest time, you know, I only had one Valentine's Day, bro. I was very loyal to this one thing, bro.
What's that?
There? My left hand. My left- Hey, what? You can't see me.
That reminds me of the joke, like, you know, what's that joke? So if you are with one other person, that's a twosome, right? If you are with two other persons, that's a threesome. What are you, bro?
By my lonesome.
No, handsome.
Oh, handsome. That's a good one.
Oh no. Oh, I think you have the stream on a device. I can hear it in the background. Do me a favor.
Oh, no.
Will you?
Okay,
Yeah,
I know why.
Mute yourself. I know it's very hard not to listen to your beautiful voice, but you know, for the peoples, we do it.
I want to respect the people on the stream, which is currently. It's just.
Edison,
who is
yes.
that?
What's up? What's up?
Yeah, it's just Edison. So like, I want to respect. So like, if I see that, I'll say hi to them as well.
Yeah, Edison is an OG. What's up, man? So glad you could be here today. As we sort of, you know, yeah, you're right. Like you mentioned, just a very busy weekend. In fact, it's Super Bowl weekend in the US right now. Is it still going on, the game? Like, I haven't kept track of American football in forever, so I don't know anything that's going on.
Yeah, it just wrapped up. Yeah, it's crazy weekend. So this morning was Super Bowl. The day before was UFC.
Yep.
And then like the day before that was Grapple Max. I mean, like, whoa, a lot of shit happening, bro.
Yeah, one by one. And then this week, lagi more things, bro.
It never ends.
It never ends. The cycle of entertainment. And that's why maybe that's the thing with moments and with things that happen, you know, going back to pro wrestling, right? It's like, I think they realize that there's just so much competition. Remember, Vince McMahon has always said, you know, WCW, AEW, it's not our competition. They think bigger. They're like, look, football is our competition. Basketball, UFC, movies, anything that takes attention away from time spent watching the WWE, that's competition.
Yeah, and also the thing about WWE is that it's so like the distribution is so good, right? Anyone from the other side of the world can watch a WWE show, especially now there's a network, everything's online on social media. You really have a huge audience that WWE not only is trying to win over, actually everyone casually knows what WWE is.
Yes.
It's more about retaining their attention span.
But I wonder, okay, a lot of people talk about how, you know, the Attitude Era, and this is a complete sidetrack, but I don't know what I thought about. I saw an Instagram post, right, about, you know, the Super Bowl ad that the WWE played once upon a time.
Yeah. I think I saw that.
I read an article about Vince McMahon saying, oh yeah, ads during the Super Bowl are a waste of money. So they've ever only done it once. And, you know, I was thinking about it while I was taking a shit, because, you know, that's where you do the best thinking, right?
Yeah, of course.
I was like, honestly, I feel like it makes a bit of sense because, like, I don't know, man. Right now, the product is, I dare say, a bit niche. Well, don't you think so? Like, okay, maybe niche is not the right word. Like, people know about it peripherally, like you said, right? Like, oh yeah, I know what WWE is, but they don't necessarily want to watch it because there isn't something in the product right now that's, you know, like a Stone Cold Steve Austin, like a Rock.
Yeah, they know it's a thing, but like, you know what? I think even UFC right now is experiencing the same thing, if I'm being completely honest. Like, of course, UFC was built on the names of all these past stars, legends, crossover people like Conor and even Ronda in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But like, honestly, the last couple of years, there's really no one that is like box office attraction. Like, I know the UFC was happening. I didn't even know what was the main event until like after the show.
Yeah, like I saw that Adesanya was, you know, fighting. I was like, oh, is it? Okay. Like, the hype, I don't know if it's the hype that's not big enough or there's just too many things that our pea brains can't comprehend all this information entertainment overload. We can only focus in on one or two things, right? And that also brings me back to the Attitude Era. Everyone says, oh yeah, wrestling was in its heyday during the Monday Night Wars, that kind of thing. But you also have to understand there was no streaming at the time. So you didn't really have, of course you had choice, but you didn't have as much choice. Now, you could be watching Korean drama. You could be watching a Spanish thriller show. You could be watching a million more variations of things instead of pro wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, you could be watching just us for no reason at all.
Exactly. Well, not just us. The million podcasts, million live streams going on exactly at the same time.
Yeah, and I think it's not about standing out anymore because I think everyone kind of copies each other no matter what. It's about your routines lah. It's really about your routines right now. Once you develop certain routines, right, or like certain loyalty from the beginning of your lifetime.
Yep.
You will just stay with that brand throughout your life. So I think WWE, as crazy as it is, them going to PG is very, very smart. Imagine all the John Cena kids that they established in the early 2000s. All of them become like Austin Theory now. Then how? Is it essentially that's what happened, right?
Right.
They create the brand loyalty since they are young.
Yes. But that gives me, pause to think. So what about in 50 years' time? What about in 30 years' time? Who are going to be the next generation? Like, who are the people they look up to? Will it be your MJFs? Like, with the product going the way it is, like AEW, slightly edgier. They don't have to worry about being PG,
Yeah, it's crazy. I think the real super wrestling, hardcore wrestling fans, I think will gravitate towards AEW.
Yeah.
AEW will become like the go-to wrestling promotion.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of mainstream credibility, recognition, WWE will still have that. Like they anytime can pick up Hollywood,
Yeah.
Unless somebody from AEW, Tony Khan, Cody Rhodes or whatever builds inroads into AEW.
Oh wait, hold on. I see what you did there. Inroads, Cody Rhodes, Inroads. Hey Scully, that one is their next reality TV show. Inroads, Cody Rhodes' journey to pitching AEW in China.
Oh my god! Okay, KTTG, we need to do some pictures, media pictures right
That's
now.
That's why, yeah.
Yeah, but you well, think about it. Even if they somehow establish context in Hollywood and make somebody like MJF mainstream, make somebody like Jade Cargill mainstream, that could be the way forward.
Right. We'll have to wait and see who is the one who pops. I don't know if a classic heel like an MJF could, transcend like that.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like in the entire history, the only one that has done that is like Ric Flair. But even then, Ric Flair wasn't mainstream like The Rock.
Ric Flair never became a movie star.
No, he did not.
Yeah, but I think it's just a name recognition thing, right?
I mean, okay, to be fair, with all due respect to the legend as well, I mean, he's kind of a one-trick pony, if you think about it.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is, if you become a one-trick pony, everyone knows you for that thing, and you don't have to change your thing.
Exactly. So it's just an interesting thing. See, all this just from taking a shit.
Deep, bro. I think you can even pop out a novel if you wanted to. You must just shit a bit longer.
Yeah, just really sit there, burn a candle so you don't have to suffer through, the process. Yeah. I don't know how we went down this rabbit hole, but let's get out of it. Muhammad Daniel, thanks for joining us here on this Monday. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Okay, the main focus of today is to talk about SAUDI-MANIA. Money. Yes, but before we get there, there's a lot of stuff to clear as well. Grapple Max, of course, happened this past weekend, as we mentioned. We won't be reviewing it today. In fact, we can't say anything yet, but there could be a very interesting collaboration coming up. We'll just leave it as that, okay? Leave it as that. Suffice it to say that we will talk about the event in a review sense somewhere down the line.
Yes.
But also there could be plus.
The most important thing is whoever that was on the show, if you happen to be in the stream right now, please tell us how it was.
Yeah.
You guys enjoyed it as well. Fun story.
Yeah.
Apparently at the very last minute, our big boss and boss Greg said, "Hey bro, guys, got one ticket open up. How you guys want to come or not?" And then me and Young both had dinner plans at that point in time.
Hey.
So I
here's the thing, right? Because Valentine's Day is on the Monday, so a lot of people were celebrating or doing their Valentine's Day dating over the weekend.
Which is, I assume it's with you as well, Mr. Yeah, so I was thinking to myself, okay, ditch girlfriend, watch wrestling, or stay loyal and don't get dumped on Valentine's weekend. Okay, never mind. I have to sacrifice wrestling, guys. Please,
I
throw forward a bone, guys.
Yeah,
please.
yeah. So that he can throw his bone. Anyway, what?
Lay the smack down on that candy, yes.
Yeah. What we talking? Let's talk about wrestling. Let's talk about wrestling.
Yeah, we are talking about wrestling, bro. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So Grapple Max. So I heard there was a lot of cool things that happened. I heard there was a shocking ref bump that happened.
Oh yeah. I saw some clips on social media. I can't wait to actually watch the full video itself. But
I really can't wait.
Okay, so let's move on then. Let's maybe talk a little bit about the AEW product before we move on to WWE, because today will be a WWE heavy show. But anything that really stood out for you on Dynamite?
Yeah, we got to talk about Dynamite last week, man. I mean, I was just thinking after watching the show, it's really like, to me, the most enjoyable 2 hours of wrestling every week. Like, even if it's weird ass segments or shit like that, right? But everything's very newsworthy. You get what I mean?
Okay, so is it an enjoyable 2 hours or is it an enjoyable 45 minutes? Let's be clear. You know what I'm saying, right?
I see where you're going.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, okay. I'm not old enough to really remember Attitude Era, live through it.
Yeah.
But like, for every single Raw, right, there's gonna be like 10 segments. 2 is gonna be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like, 1 is gonna be El Snow for the hardcore title.
Hey, nothing wrong with El Snow for the hardcore title, okay?
Yeah, I know, that's the point. But like, even if it's like cheesy or over the top, or like Crash Holly running through a playground or what, but it's kind of still something that I can talk about.
Yeah.
I probably shit on it if I was living through that time, but like, you know, there was something to come out talking. So like, I would say every single segment, there was something coming out that we can literally discuss right now.
Right. I tend to agree, but maybe the comparison to the Attitude Era is a little bit of a stretch to me. I feel like when you're talking about the Attitude Era, yes, you had that, you know, like out of 10 segments, maybe 3 were good, maybe 5 were middle of the road and 2 were trash, right?
Yep.
For AEW, it's similar. So I'm just nitpicking here a little bit, but it seems like, okay, for AEW, there's 3 that's good and maybe 3 that's middle of the road and then 4 that's trash. There's more trash than there is middle of the road or good. If you know what I'm saying.
The trash is really trash. That's how you remember it, right?
Yeah, the gap is so vast that it just sticks out like a sore thumb. Like, you could go from something really cool like a CM Punk, MJF, John Moxley, whatever. I don't believe I just lumped John Moxley into the good category, but okay. Because he's with CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, that whole angle, right? But then you could go from that to like some just random, like, you know...
One-time Jake Cargill versus AQA.
Who? Who are these people?
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, so sometimes you gotta pick and choose your poison. Like, you want, like, you know, you're gonna get guaranteed good stuff in a week, or you're gonna have like 2 hours of, you know, conference gonna just be meh. You know, like, and which WWE is like, in my opinion, right now.
Yeah, to go to that as well, like, you know, Raw and SmackDown. Okay, like, SmackDown has Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman, so at least you get that bright spot. But you're right about Raw. Like, really, Raw right now is just it's like a flat line.
Yeah. There's nothing coming out of it. It's like newsworthy shit. We got to talk about it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, there is things to talk about, I think, as wrestling fans, things we appreciate. But I think when I was watching AEW, the thing that struck to me was, this came to me when I was watching the Inner Circle conflict that happened. Because that was like the 3rd segment or something like that. So like the first segment was, if I'm not wrong, was like the whole MJF coming out and being a complete douchey heel, right?
Yeah.
And then second segment was like, wasn't it the Keith Lee debut?
Yes.
Yeah, so okay, we'll talk about that. But then 3rd segment, it was Inner Circle. And maybe 2 years ago, the Inner Circle would have been the main event, them having the dissension and all this shit. That would have been the thing that's running the event. But now, that was the middle of the road. So that just goes to show that, okay, that AEW has created so much like newsworthy things that the Inner Circle eventually right now imploding is like, yeah, okay, not really the biggest news coming out of it. Dynamite.
Or back then it was the biggest news because that's all they had. they had Chris Jericho, and he was the main star. Now you have CM Punk, you have an influx of proper talent, and you don't have like the rest of your show being held up by like a Joey Janela or a Jimmy Havoc, a crap like that, right? I think that's what it is as well. But I think we can both agree that the trajectory of AEW is definitely on an uptrend. You know, as they get an influx of talent, now they're going to have a different problem. And I feel like Tony Khan is the kind of booker. He's like too friendly to everybody. You know, so everybody's going to have their way. Everybody's going to have their little moments. And he tends to do this. People will come in for a short while and then they'll disappear for a while. And then come in and disappear. Come in and disappear. See Miro, who's still stuck in limbo, apparently. See Lance Archer.
You know? Even though Lance Archer came, I mean, technically was the main event on the show. But that's the crazy thing. Like, I feel like you're right. The biggest test for Tony Khan now is when the contracts are coming up, and you know they are coming up middle of the year, right? Yeah. So I want to see who are the first few that gets released or gets their contract not renewed.
I mean, we've seen already quite a few, like, you know, your Big Swoles, your librarians, and people like that.
I'm pretty sure Marco Stan can say goodbye.
Yeah, he's done already. So,
bro, they literally upgraded Marco Stan to Christian. I mean, that's like a glow up, bro.
Yeah, a mega glow up. Unfortunately, it's a huge, step down for Christian.
Yeah, but maybe that's what Christian wants right now. Like, he just say, hey, give me your young guy that I can put over, and I try my best to put over, and this is his challenge that he gives himself.
Is he really putting them over though? Like, you see their interactions, it's dragging him down more than he's bringing it up. You know what I mean?
That's why I say it's hit or miss. But what was your favorite segment from Dynamite then?
Favorite segment? It has to be the CM Punk MJF stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
It usually is.
Correct. So MJF comes doing that whole heel promo at the beginning.
And then, of course, you had CM Punk with his mystery partner. Oh, it's John Moxley. And then, you know, there's the whole thread of Daniel Bryan being like, all right, hey. And, of course, the internet then goes crazy. What if the three of them become a faction?
You know, that would be amazing, bro, right?
Like a new NWO sort of a deal. So it's like, hold on. Are we getting CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and John Moxley in a three-way feud next?
Could be a three-way feud. Could be a three-way super team. Could be a main event mafia. Yep. I don't know. The possibilities are endless. But you know what was the craziest thing that I saw? CM Punk actually tweeted in the middle of the show.
What?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, he got time to tweet. I thought he's on Dynamite. So I was watching Dynamite and I had my Twitter live stream just like in the background, right? So after the first segment where they asked him to find a partner that is not Sting and Darby Allin, can you imagine? Sting and Darby Allin is just a side piece character to this whole shit.
Yeah, which is crazy, right?
Yeah. So and then like, commercial break, literally on Fight TV. So I just open up Twitter Then I saw CM Punk tweeting, "Hey Samoa Joe, are you in the country?" And then he go tag him.
That's hilarious, though. That's hilarious, and. That's a good point. Like, he's already playing the whole social media game, right? It's like, ooh, Samoa Joe, could he be all elite soon?
Yeah, and that's a crazy thing. Like, if I'm a wrestler, I just want to fuck with these people. I just throw random names and just tag them. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the next level of the game already. I mean, several wrestlers have already been doing that, you know? Okay, so then let's move on to the Keith Lee. Well, okay, there are two debuts. And apparently the whole issue with Jay White showing up and Keith Lee showing up was... Didn't Tony Khan say that he bungled the Forbidden Door line or something like that? That's why he bring in Jay White.
Yeah, weird explanation for bringing in someone though. Like, I saw the news and he said something along the lines of like, I think he over-explained himself or he didn't really clarify himself. So people were expecting something very obvious, and he just threw the Jay White debut to confuse or give fans an additional treat lah. But. No. How would you feel as Jay White? Yeah,
right. He's like, oh, I'm an afterthought, really? So, okay, is it because when he brings in Keith Lee, did he just realize, wait, Keith Lee has been out of the WWE for so many years. Technically, he's not walking through any Forbidden Door. Technically, he's a free agent, right? So he realized that, oh, wait, that's not a Forbidden Door thing. Let me bring in someone who's currently signed to another promotion, i.e. Jay White, so I can fulfill my Forbidden Door promise, which is so stupid. So what are you, like, doing things the fly here? What's going on?
I mean, that's what happens if you have the clout to be able to do things on the fly. Like, okay, I know right now Jay White is having some sort of partnership with Impact. I know he's been playing around in Impact for a while with his like Luke Gallows and, you know, all those people, right? But I don't think he will be in AEW for the long run. He's not like a full-time signed to the roster. He still has his ties with New Japan. So it's not going to be like a big deal. It's probably like that one-off like joke. Remember like Jeff Cobb? He just appeared one time, 2 times at Dynamite, that's it.
Which, I mean, good or bad, I suppose. Once again, we are expected to know who the hell Jay White is. For your typical North American audience that's not an AEW, not an indie wrestling, not a New Japan fan, you're probably going to be like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah, and that's why they need to be really, like, assume the audience is not stupid, but like, you need to come up to speed.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. And that's the big issue with Lance Archer, in that, okay, yeah, we've seen him a couple of times, but, you know, his reputation is essentially being a hard-ass, badass, blood and guts wrestler from, you know, Japan, right? That's his whole thing. But he hasn't been around on AEW TV enough to justify that. That's why when we go to, like, you know, the main event, which was a good, don't get me wrong, like, as a match itself, it was bloody, it was violent, it was exactly what, you know, Lance Archer brings to the table, right? But
yes, correct.
It feels like, who is this guy just randomly having a bloody ass match with your world champion? You know, like, I didn't feel like Lance Archer deserved the title shot. It would be like one day all of a sudden, Hardcore Holly versus The Rock for the WWE Championship in a hardcore match.
Yeah, like, he hasn't been picking up victories. It wasn't like he was in the middle of a winning streak.
Yeah.
So how the hell suddenly he like went to the front of the line?
Yeah, plus he was a bad guy, then he became a good guy, then like flip-flopped so many times, much worse than, you know, the big show. So it's like, okay, what is, like, you know, what's the deal here?
Yeah, I maintain the only heavyweight I want to see in the world title picture right now is Miro. Like, Miro is ready for that world title run, or at least to fight and battle for the world title, right?
The problem is, he's in limbo for so long already, people are going to forget about him.
That's the problem,
This is a what have you done for me lately business, you know?
The thing is, he's so good, like, you should keep his momentum as much as you can.
Well, okay, so, I mean, I think WWE is not dumb enough to suddenly bring him in and feud with Adam Cole. Like, have him come in, Adam Page. So have him come back, you know, have a few dominant victories, play vignettes about his old, you know, victories. Forget the fact that he was ever hanging out with the best friends, and then, you know, have him challenge Adam Page. I think the big problem right now is, you're throwing all these people against Adam Page, but it feels like it's just based on reputation and not what we've seen lately.
Speaking of expiring contracts, right, and I think I mentioned it in the previous episode, we know for a fact Lance Archer's contract is actually expiring this February. So could it be Tony Khan's like one last like favor to him, and like, okay, I give you one last run at the title, and then you can, you know, we can part ways amicably. Maybe that's what they're doing, because it seems to be the only reason, like, he comes back just to give him one last big run.
Bro, it's not even a run. I feel like after this match, you're one and done. I don't think there's going to be a follow-on match. So it's like literally for one match. I'm like, wow, what contract is this, friend contract that you can pay this guy and he doesn't basically show up for basically 80% of the year.
Yeah, it's weird. But like I said, at the end of the match, the main event, the conclusion, Adam Cole finally appeared, right? And he seems to put himself up as the next challenger. And okay, it's 6 months ago, Adam Cole challenging for the AEW World title will be holy shit, crazy, undisputed era, blah, blah, blah. But Adam Cole now...
not only like after losing to Orange Cassidy...
Which doesn't count, apparently.
Oh, yeah, I know. They're going with that whole storyline. I get it, but we all saw it. You know what I mean? The records and what we see are two totally different things. And like right now, they need to rehab Adam Cole. They need to like figure out how to make him relevant and cool and happening again, because exactly like what you said, he has literally zero momentum. It's like they brought him in, like he was a dominant force in the other show that was their competition, right? You bring him in and immediately bury the shit out of him, and then now you expect me to believe him as a top contender?
Yeah, it's I don't know. They have this same problem because like Miro came in and this happened to him. He kind of like had a weird ass gimmick before they took him seriously. Adam Cole's having the same issue right now. Is Park and Malachi Black going through the same thing, perhaps?
You notice who didn't go through this? Bryan Danielson, and CM Punk. The two of them who I guess maybe have enough clout to say, no, don't involve me with this bullshit. Or maybe not clout. Maybe the word is, They know exactly how to play the game. It's time to play the game. They know they need to maintain their main event status. So that's what they do. Versus the other guys who are more like friendly and chill. So, okay, like, yeah, mess around, it's fine. You know, Adam Cole, like, he's very friendly with the Young Bucks. He's probably very friendly with everybody. So he's like, yeah, I can chill for a few months before I actually take myself seriously. Unfortunately, that just means his quote-unquote value in the eye of the regular viewers goes down and down and down and down. Also, we haven't seen much of Red Dragon after their debut, have we?
No, we haven't. I think the UE thing after the Britt Baker, Orange Cassidy, it kind of just fizzled out, right?
So, like, and here's the thing. You just brought in Kyle O'Reilly. You just brought in Bobby Fish as well. You expect them to be making waves, right? No, nothing. I don't know if they've been on DAP or on Elevator, but who cares if they have?
Yeah. Okay, so at the end of the day, right, what does this show? This shows that they have a lot of talent, not enough slots. Or they are rotating too much of their slots to the point that, like, for example, okay, this guy fight first month of February.
Yeah.
The next time they can fight is only the first month of March because we need to cycle through the rest of the roster.
Yeah, which doesn't make sense. You need to be building stars and building momentum.
Maybe their argument is that, okay, we can't overexpose these people, have them in repeat matches too many times. You know, I mean, I get it, but like even a vignette, even a backstage segment, something to keep them on TV and alive, fresh in the mind's eye, right?
Yeah, so I don't know where they're going with this lah. And plus, you know, the connection with the Young Bucks, are they going to reform the UE? Right now, it'll be interesting to see. We all know that he can work it on the mic for sure, 100% Adam Cole, right? It's
They need the 2-3 weeks before Revolution to kind of build up his heat back to title contention.
No,
they still have the time, maybe.
I don't know if they do. I really don't. Plus, I mean, he's looking in the worst shape of his life.
Yeah, what the hell? Yeah.
So he looked like a boy in front of Adam Page, which, you know, Adam Page looked good, but it doesn't give me the hope like, oh, his title reign is in jeopardy. You know, he's just another side boss, and not even a side boss, another NPC for Adam Page to knock over.
He lost his like body mass or something, right? I think he dropped in mass, or he hasn't been working out, and then like the muscle kind of just went flabby, whatever it is lah. But I just saw a photo like, oh no, because WWE YouTube channel posted an old match between Adam Cole and like was it Malachi Black or something back in 2018?
Sure.
Like one of the takeovers. And like, my God, man, like he fucking looks amazing. I mean, like, he's small size guy, but you can never tell. You know, like people like Shawn Michaels, Chris Jericho when he was in his prime, you can't tell they're unless they are standing beside a huge ass guy, but they always look jacked.
Yeah, they had a body shape lah.
Yeah, and Adam Cole, even though he was like more of a slender guy, but he still felt like like Steven Richards.
Yes.
You know, he still looked like he can go.
he looks like an athlete lah. Now he doesn't. He looks like just a regular guy. Which, I mean, at the end of the day, I know that's very superficial to say, but this is pro wrestling. You know, this is about the visuals as well, right?
Bro, is he on Twitch too much, bro? Is that the reason?
Well, instead of going to the gym, he's playing video games. So, I mean, it has to be, it's a give or take, right? All these timing issues.
You go DM him and say, hey, bro, get off the Twitch stream, bro.
Fuck, don't be a troll. See, I'll go on his Twitch stream while he's playing games live and tell him to go to the gym, huh? And then get banned. Anyway, okay, one more thing I suppose we should talk about, Keith Lee's debut.
Yeah.
I mentioned this on the Discord, but I felt like the Keith Lee debut was very underwhelming.
Yeah, and I saw what you said on Discord as well. But imagine, right, bro, if this debut happened like at the time of his main roster debut in WWE. Because you remember when he debuted on the main roster in WWE, that was during the pandemic. It was Payback 2020, right? When he fought Randy Orton. There was no crowd, no reaction. But imagine like fresh out of NXT, and then he had this match. I tell you, right, he could have done the exact same thing, which he did all his highlight moves, right? And the crowd would have popped crazy for him.
Hang on, no, I respectfully completely disagree.
Why do you say that?
He looked sluggish. He looked lethargic. He looked blown up. it feels like he hasn't been. I don't, because he got the COVID as well, so maybe his stamina is not there anymore. But the Keith Lee I remember was going like bell to bell, like full bore against Dominic Dijakovic, doing impressive big man moves. Moves for a big man, I mean. And
as in, like, he was rolling, he had intensity, he was fast-paced, hard hitting, is it? Kind of thing?
Here everything he did was like a late, older Vader. Like, it just felt very like I don't remember this Keith Lee, you know, he didn't look and somehow they purposely put him up against Isaiah Cassidy, who is a high flyer, somebody for him to bump around, right?
Yeah. I mean, you might have a point in this, because I thought what you meant by it was underwhelming was because of the crowd reaction.
No, everything from the crowd reaction to his performance in the ring, they took too long to have him. It should have been a straight squash. There was some bullshit story and this one like annoyed me because the Matt Hardy thing where he walks out on Private Party shouldn't have happened. Look, I get that you're trying to play off a storyline, but this should be about Keith Lee showing up, having his moment, destroying Isaiah Cassidy. If Matt Hardy wants to walk away from Isaiah Cassidy, do it in a backstage segment later. You know, not during the match. The match was already too long. It should have been, boom, comes in, shows up, 3-4 power moves, that's it. You know, and what was that? Somebody just let out a big ass sneeze.
It's my brother at the other room, which you can hear. Impressive.
Yeah. The microphone is picking up everything. But you know, I mean, hey, Tovakin, how are you, by the way? Tovakin says maybe it's just a preview of what he can do, saving the good stuff. Bro, if he's blown up from the little stuff that he did, I'm not looking forward to what else he may or may not be able to do anymore. You know?
Yeah, man. Hey, bro, Tovakin, bro, you just gotta dust it off, man. Just dust it off. Okay?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So go ahead.
I wanted to say yes, correct. Well, when you said like he was kind of blown up and stuff like that, you're right. There are some mitigating factors. He probably hasn't wrestled for a long time. He probably, when he was left out the 90 days, he wasn't training, because I remember there was news that he just got married as well, right? So I still, I guess he's still in the glow of like, just married, chilling. He will need some time to like work off the rust, probably. I mean, that's what my thinking is for how he's performing. But there's no excuse for the booking. I agree. Yeah. Like, I wanted to say, add on, like, one thing I didn't like about the match was that it was a bit too long, and they were giving Isaiah Cassidy and like Mark Quinn some additional offense that he needed, and there were some things that he did towards the end that was a little sloppy, like when he was outside the ring, and they were doing a dive, right? He wanted to catch him, and like, I don't know, just the way it just ended wasn't that impactful in my opinion. But I think even though you disagree with like what I thought about it, I was happy overall because they gave him back the things that we didn't even want WWE to get rid of in the first place. His attire, his gimmick.
He bask in his glory deal.
Let him be limitless. Even his AEW theme song, like, kind of like still was more of a homage to his bask in his glory theme song than whatever the shit that he did. So like, they basically AEW was trying to rectify some of the things that he lost during his main roster run, which makes me happy as a fan for him. Yeah,
but at the same time too, you get him mired in this, you know. I'm sorry to say this, you know, I used to be a huge fan of the Hardy Boys, right? I still am of the Hardy Boys, not of this man Andrade bullshit, and then now Andrade is AHOF, and then now they're having meetings in the staircase, and like, what the fuck, man?
A bit sus, huh?
Yeah, and then like, you know, Andrade still trying to buy Darby Allin. Like, it's getting to a point of like, did nobody come up with a story progression? Like, it's been the same thing over and over, and it's not interesting. It's just as bad as the Alexa Bliss therapy sessions. It's just things happening that don't progress, and it's like, what the fuck is going on here?
Honestly, I see some humor in it because every time he asks to buy Darby Allin, right, he say, ask your boss, you know, how much your boss pay you.
See, it was funny the first few times. Now it's not funny anymore. It's like if you tell the same joke over and over again, it's like
like a running joke. Yeah, because it loses his luster after a while, right?
And then I guess maybe this whole Matt Hardy abandoning the Hardy family, whatever shit, is a tease for Jeff Hardy to come in to reform the Hardy Boys, right? I mean, we're all kind of expecting that.
Yep.
But don't do it at the expense of Keith Lee's moment. Not during the match. Do it after, like I said.
Yeah, got it. And could this be an issue of them trying to cram so many things into 2 hours? Them having too many talent that they need to weave all the running threads?
Yep.
It seems like it. They're trying to accomplish 7 things in like one segment.
Just push it off to like the YouTube show. Some things. Like I said, the Hardy House Office with Andrade family sitcom doesn't even need to happen because nothing has progressed. It's not like it's a new development. You want to do a new development, then skip a week and then do it in the next week. And anyway, like, okay, they're supposed to be this like conglomerate. They are wearing suits, that's fine. But I mean, look at their suits and look at what Bobby Lashley is wearing. You know what I mean? There's levels. So why are you trying to, like, I don't buy this.
There's levels to this, right?
Yeah, I don't buy this whole, we are a big corporation. Like, fuck. Andrade is trying to buy Darby Allin, right? Have him buy his old house. Have him buy his old car. Have him buy his best friends. You know, like, you know, just to get at them. I want to see that progression, not just every week. I want to buy you. Tell your boss how much. You know, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Tovakin brought up a great point. He was saying that I think probably Andrade needs English lessons. He's not confident to cut promos in English. Perhaps that's a reason.
Honestly, I'm okay. Like, I don't know why people shit on the fact that his English is a bit cha-cha. Because, you know, who cares if his English is good or bad? In fact, I dare say, you should leave his English as very, like Spanish broken because it makes him different, at least. He just needs to get the main points across.
Yeah. Because every time, I don't know whether it's a wrestling trope or like bookers can't do anything more creative with Mexican wrestlers. Why every Mexican wrestler either have to be a mass wrestler or a rich Mexican aristocrat?
Yeah.
I've never seen any other gimmick for Mexicans.
or coming into the ring like gangster or lowrider, that
or
sort
like
of thing.
What Lucho or Luchico, or you know what I'm talking about, Narcos like that. You know?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean,
cartels.
It's like the Japanese wrestlers, huh? They also come in, they act very erratically or something like that. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, for me, right, the best gauge to see whether a gimmick is over, right, honestly for me, is when I watch Dynamite, I see what is JR's reaction.
Oh yeah, if he like couldn't give a fuck, you know he doesn't. It's shit.
Yeah, he doesn't hide that shit. But like, if like he really into someone, right, like, okay, another thing about the Keith Lee thing, right, I don't think JR has ever called a Keith Lee match before. Don't you think so?
No, I don't think so. He probably has seen him on NXT, but not called lah.
Yeah, so like when he started talking about comparing to Mark Henry, things like that, and then like it's interesting. Clearly, it's an interesting observation because they don't wrestle anything alike.
No,
right?
No.
Mark Henry is just a big lumbering like monster, right? But it's kind of interesting because Keith Lee and Mark Henry kind of are similar in terms of the build and size and stuff like that. But
based on what he did to Isaiah Cassidy, I'm not surprised that JR made the Mark Henry reference.
Yeah, so I'm almost interested to see what JR will react if he wrestles like Keith Lee. If you think about it, because right now he's kind of like you said, not really going all out to the potential that we can, right?
All out, huh? Pun intended. Fias, what's up? It's good to see you, man. Send Hook, he says.
Hey,
that's
we need to send Hook.
One of the things they're definitely doing right. Hook, Rampage is like the Hook show. Every time he's there, he just does cool shit.
Clearly, man. Yeah, I was just about to say, like, every time I tune in Rampage, right? If I know Hook is on the show, then I will watch Rampage.
Yeah.
So is he a box office draw or what?
It's a Rampage draw, lah. Friday night watch. It's Friday night. Yeah, Friday night wrestler type guy. Okay. Anything else we want to talk about in terms of were the Knights of the Round Table? I mean, Knights of the Dark Tower or Knights of the whatever fuck shit.
Knights of the Lord of the Rings.
Whatever their name is, too long already. Too long. I can't remember. The Black House, the House of Black. See, call them the House of Black.
Yeah, it's such a simple and nice name.
Yeah, why must they are the House of Black, but their tag team name is the what? Knights of the Black Throne or some.
The Knights of the Black Throne. Yeah.
Like fun lah. The Kings of the Black. Like what? Okay. Anyway, were they even on the show?
No, they weren't. They weren't segments. Like I said, one guy will appear, they will disappear 2 weeks.
Yeah.
One guy will appear, then they will disappear 3 weeks.
Like, why?
No time, clearly.
Oh, okay, then get rid of some of the bullshit. Anyway. All right, Knights or Kings of the Black Throne. There you go. I swear, what's his face? Justin Roberts said their name wrong also. See, even if Justin Roberts can't get it right, how do they expect the regular people to get it right? Just call them the House of Black and full stop. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about anything interesting on Raw. Okay, let's move on.
I know you're gonna try to say that, but yeah, let's move on.
NXT Vengeance. Their take on Valentine's Day, so it's Vengeance Day for NXT, right? I will say that I'm starting to, warm up to the NXT 2.0 content, even more so than Raw.
Are they starting to settle into a groove that you enjoy?
Yes. I think also because a lot of these guys, they are young and they want to show out. They are trying to get their break to impress people. Whereas people on the Raw and SmackDown side, especially if they've been around for a while, it's like, okay, like they're just going through the motions. Sometimes you can tell. Like, I don't know, but when I see someone like Kevin Owens, for example, it seem like, okay, he's just going through the motions,
Yeah, kind of. Like he's comfortable where he is, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying that's a bad thing necessarily. I'm not saying anyone is being lazy, far from it. But like, it just permeates because it's a company. Right now, it's a company / show culture almost. It's like no matter how much you do, sometimes you're where you are and you can't move up or down.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, what's up, Irvin? Irvin's here as well.
Hey, good to see you, man.
Yeah, also I wanted to say with regards to that culture thing, because I was watching or listening to Jim Cornette, and apparently they did this one Q&A where this is true. Jim Cornette reviewed Glassdoor reviews of WWE employees.
Glassdoor, oh my god. Okay, so those who don't know what Glassdoor is, it is like a website that people can leave their reviews of companies they are working for or have worked for anonymously.
Yes, anonymously, or I don't think anyone will tell the truth, like who they are. Like,
yeah.
Unless it's a positive review, I guess. Yeah, and like they were talking about like so each reviewer would say which department they work for, or like talk about the context of the job that they work in, right? And I tell you, everything we suspect about WWE is true. It's like we want to believe that it's not true, but it is. So like so many things thrown around, like toxic work culture, things change on the fly last minute, no HR. It seems like the worst place to work for.
But
you know what I mean?
Are you really even surprised? I mean,
no, I'm not surprised.
Being in the workforce ourselves, right? I mean, and I've worked for several big, multimedia companies, stuff like that. It's like it's kind of expected.
Yes,
almost,
it kind of is,
which is not a good thing, but it's like, okay, like the more people you have, the harder it is to govern everybody. So it will be interesting to see what happens to AEW down the road if they do expand. They got more departments. Can they handle it? Like the hands-on way that Tony Khan is doing it right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, not everyone that joins the wrestling company is a wrestling fan. If you think about it, like you might just join, maybe you're part of the game development, and you just have a working knowledge. Or
like someone from marketing, maybe they don't know anything about pro wrestling, but then they get scolded by so and so who's been in the wrestling business for a long time. I mean, come on, man. The wrestlers, the bookers, they're all like good old boys. They all have a way of communicating with each other that doesn't translate well into corporate culture. Like, I'm just going back to all the stories you heard of from the territory days, right? And how they would treat each other. I can't imagine any of that shit being done in a corporate culture, a corporate structure in 2022. People will be like, oh my God, that is so toxic. That is harassment. But that was the norm in the wrestling business, or may still be, who knows?
Yeah, and like I remember days when it was Vince McMahon, Pat Patterson, like sitting by his poolside booking the shows, and it felt like intimate lah. It's almost as if what WWE right now is like WCW, and the roles are reversed because like the young roster is like the Attitude Era roster is like NXT or like a AEW. Right? So you're right. Maybe that's why it permeates, because when I see NXT, I see the innocence are not lost yet.
Yes.
Right.
Their cherry has not been popped yet. Anyway,
but don't you realize that if somebody from the main roster drops down to NXT like for a brief run or what, they seem like a much bigger star still.
Yeah, and they seem invigorated. Honestly, they feel like you can see like, oh, okay, they are there to just cut loose and be who they want to be. Like, for example, last week Dolph Ziggler was on NXT and he was just playing straight up heelish Dolph, too big for this place sort of a thing. I was like, okay, that's cool.
I've never heard this chant in a while when the NXT audience started saying steal the show.
Steal the show. Yeah.
Right. It made me feel happy for Dolph. Like, yeah, man, people actually respect and wants to give you your flowers.
Because on Raw, SmackDown, whatever it is, he's losing. Every week, people forgot what he can do already.
Yeah, and he loses so well that the WWE books him to lose.
Yeah. That's the problem, right? He does too good a job of selling. Tovakin asks, Toxic Attractions cherry not pop, man. Ooh, Mandy.
Hey, bro. Valentine's Day, bro. You never know what they're up to, you know?
Yeah, sure. Okay, let's jump into the card for Vengeance Day then, okay? Carmelo Hayes versus Cameron Grimes. To the moon for the North American Championship. I'm not a big fan of Cameron Grimes' like cleaned up look.
Are you saying that since he become handsome, he's not that interesting anymore?
Yeah. No, I mean, it is true because honestly, he stood out. He completely stood out when he was low down, grimy, dirty looking guy from wherever the hell he's from.
Yeah. You know, I call this, right, the Beauty and the Beast problem. You got watch Beauty and the Beast, the Emma Watson one?
Of course.
Do you remember, like, I actually fell in love with Beast, not in a no homo way. Like, I really thought he was very adorable as his beastly look. And then at the end of the movie, when he turned back into the human, right, I look at him like, gay. He looked like gay, like metrosexual, like not really, not a hot gruff.
You know what
beast.
it is? What it is that you quote unquote fell in love with the Beast because you spent all that time with the Beast. You went through the ups and the downs and you got to know him as a person and respect him as a person. Same with Cameron Grimes, right? We've known this like grimy Grimes guy from the start to the end, and then we feel for him when he got beat down and shaved by Duke Hudson, which anyway. And then now he's like cleaned up and he's talking about like, I still go back to the grimy days, blah, 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 but whatever lah. But now he's lost an edge. And I don't know, maybe Carmelo Hayes will bring it out in him again. Their feud needs to be more story-based, I guess.
Yeah, I think it seems like they haven't even explored the feud to a greater extent, and they're really having a match really. But maybe it will continue after the fact. But I maintain I am still a fan of Carmelo Hayes. I think he has all the tools to be like a big star. It's about finding the thing that makes him stand out, because a lot of the black wrestlers seem to also the same issue with Mexican wrestlers. Their gimmicks are all very, very similar. Like, I've never seen a guy who kind of tries to incorporate a gimmick that is not so identified with what they usually do. You know what I mean?
Well, but how are you going to do that though? Every gimmick out there has been played, and not sometimes the best gimmicks are really who you are, but you amplify it, with your personality. Like, okay, did you watch the little vignette that they did with Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams and friends?
No, I didn't.
So last week, instead of having like an in-ring showdown or interaction, it was all vignettes, right? So Cameron Grimes, they had a package of him. I think he's from Cameron, North Carolina as well. The Hardys.
Cameron Grimes.
Yeah. Cameron from Cameron. Funny. Carmelo Hayes, the set is a barbershop.
Okay.
And then you see shots of his title there, and he's there with Trick and plus a whole group of his friends, and they're all like, like they are like hyping him up for the match, that kind of thing. So I mean, there was nothing bad about it, but like, did it stand out? It was all right.
Yeah, it would have stand out if like Street Profits haven't done it already, if it was Hit Row hasn't done it already. You know what I mean? Like, even all the way back to Crime Time haven't done it already.
It's okay lah. No. To be fair, it was a bit different because Crime Time was like, all right, that one is like damn bad stereotype, right? Criminal stereotype. Hit Row were music producers. This one is like, we're just cool
barbershop chilling ghetto guys.
Yeah, which like okay, have we seen that before? Barbershop chilling ghetto guys.
Okay, the barbershop element I think is pretty cool for wrestling. I don't think that
they're
hasn't
not.
been.
It's not a ghetto barbershop though. It's like a high class one.
Oh, it's a high class. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's like a classy one. To me, the one so-called black wrestler gimmick that I thought was really stood out. It transcended beyond just it's like a race-based gimmick. I thought the New Day started off as like trying to be preachers, but then when they really incorporate their love for anime and manga, and like they just became their own thing.
Yeah, like it's them, but times 1,000. This has been said to death. The best gimmicks are like amplified versions of yourselves, right? The Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H, that kind of thing. Irvin asks, has wrestling ever had a Luke Cage type character? You mean a superhero? I don't think so.
or is it like a Punisher, like a hitman kind of guy?
No lah, that doesn't work. This is PG product, bro.
Yeah.
How to kill people.
Irvin said SPW needs to film vignettes at Kopitiam.
Oh my god. Hey, God, what? Some of their like what guy's name I forgot already. He used to come to the ring with a bag of kopi.
Oh, yeah. Shit, he's part of the not the Misfits. I don't know how to remember.
Misfits, correct what?
Yeah, Misfits. He's part of the Misfits, right? He's a Japanese-looking guy.
Yeah. Anyway, we've gone off track here. Let's bring it back. Okay, the men's Dusty Rhodes tag. Oh wait, before that, I think Carmelo Hayes should hang on to the North American Championship. He doesn't need to drop it to Cameron Grimes yet.
Yeah, Cameron doesn't really need the title.
Yeah. MSK versus the Creed Brothers, Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Finals.
Yeah. Do you watch the Creed Brothers match with Young Veterans?
Yeah, Grizzled Young Veterans. I certainly did.
That actually felt like a takeover match in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed it a lot.
I feel like we need to give credit to the Grizzled Young Veterans because I mean the Creed Brothers are still green AF. But you know, you can definitely see the potential, right? Oh, by the way, Moose is kind of Luke Cage, says Rizzle.
Yeah, Moose with from TNA Impact, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Social Misfits. Yeah, thanks to Overkin.
Yeah, there you go. Social Misfits. Okay, but yeah, I really do like the Creed Brothers. You know, I don't know if being in Diamond Mine, well, I guess it fits them for now. What happened to Hachiman, the Japanese guy? He like never show up anymore.
I thought he kicked out of the place already.
Did he get released? I don't know.
I don't know. Like the only Japanese guy I care about in NXT is Ikemenjiro.
Jacket time. Style strong. Please, they haven't since they lost in the Dusty Classic. They also like never show up already.
Yeah. So is Kushida a goofy character now, or he actually still serious, but he's just hanging out with him?
Yeah, he still looks at his watch that doesn't exist, and it's just two weirdos probably on 205 Live. Hachiman released already. Okay, there you go. Yeah. So poor Diamond Mine, their Roderick Strong no more Cruiserweight Championship. Their trainer got released. What's next? Anyway, MSK, they are their last year's Tag Team Classic champions. So are they going to two-peat?
Depends, because when they won, they didn't really do anything after that. Like they even got booed. They were supposed to be baby faces and they didn't really had a good run. So could it be a CM Punk situation where he won 2 Money in the Banks in a row? Maybe they are trying to rehabilitate him, because I do see MSK slightly winning over the fans again.
Yeah. Well,
it will take time.
This time after visiting the shaman, bro.
Yeah, I mean Riddle actually did kind of help, give them some sort of shine.
I honestly would rather see the Creed Brothers win just to, give this green young team a push lah. But I see what exactly you mean though, just to give MSK that additional bump, because they have a little bit more tenure and they might be ready for the next level, as opposed to the Creed Brothers who, still have a lot of time to develop. Yeah.
Actually, you brought up a great talk about Riddle, right? It reminded me of an interview that AJ Styles did regarding why he wanted to work with Grayson Waller.
Yeah, right? Grayson Waller, eh?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
why?
I thought that was a WWE thing, but it was actually AJ Styles going to management and say, hey, can you bring me down for 2 weeks in NXT? I just want to see what's up, choose a talent that I want to work with, kind of thing. So I kind of like it, because if you think about it, right, isn't it like NXT's like the very first iteration, it was like a game show?
Yeah.
Where they had mentors, stuff like that.
Sure.
But then now they weave it into storyline. Like I wouldn't mind, like make this a thing, normal thing throughout the year where
They clearly have with Dolph Ziggler now coming down, and who
Riddle
else?
came down,
Yeah,
AJ Styles came down. Like I come on lah. I mean, you're not there's a lot of wrestlers that's not doing shit in Bring Ricochet back to NXT for a run. Come on, give that guy some love.
I don't believe they changed his entrance music and nobody like made a big deal or noticed it.
Because no one cares.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? His music used to be like the pshoo, dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Now
I love
it's
that.
now pshoo, and then some generic rock music. Fuck! What the hell?
I think, right, that's one of the reasons this year's Royal Rumble wasn't so like wow moment, because all the entrance music I don't recognize.
Yeah, it's like, who is this? Like, no, you remember it from the pachoo. That's why you notice this too. A lot of these wrestlers now, their entrance music will have some sort of identifier first.
Sound effect, right?
Yeah, like Sami Zayn has the what's that? And then jenga, like, huh?
Some new shit. Yeah. No, the one that I thought was it's a blatant. They just have to shove some sort of sound effect, right?
Yeah.
Was Drew McIntyre's one.
Oh.
They need to have the SWAT.
Yeah, it's like the identifier. So I honestly, okay, I actually am not. I don't hate that idea because. At the end of the day, if you Lan have to change the music because of rights or because of the person, becoming heel or face, right? Then, yeah, you might forget or you might not realize who that is. But with that identifier, that sound effect in front, you're like, okay, I know immediately, pachoo, is Ricochet. Oh, I know it's Sami Zayn,
20 years ago, Stone Cold did thing.
Yeah, the glass.
He had a period where he was cycling through a lot of theme songs, but the shattered glass still remained.
Yeah, you put the shattered glass in front. After that, whatever shit comes after, it doesn't really matter. Or The Rock, if you smell, or do you smell? Like,
Yeah. My favorite is cooking.
This was when he was Hollywood heel, right?
Yeah, I love it because I remember that was when I was really watching Raw or WWE every single week. And then when he first made that debut, they didn't say who he was. He said like somebody's reading.
Yeah.
And then like he had that whole like 30-second interlude of like a helicopter and all that. I was like, what the fuck is this, like full of himself into what? Then it was The Rock.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, damn shots.
No, I remember, like, the second you brought that up, I literally remember the crowd, the vibe. Yeah, you're right. Like, there was this long pan shot from a helicopter for don't know how long. Then when you heard the whisper, it's cooking. Then the crowd like, oh my God, we know who that is. Yeah. So,
yeah. And it's a great way to signal a change in character. So like, I like it if like, okay, they do a gimmick change, maybe they turn heel or what, but then they retain the theme song that make them recognizable.
Yeah. Tovakin says, Mandy. Yeah, she should bring back her Mandy and put it in her Toxic Attraction. Because I don't remember Toxic Attraction's intro, honestly. It seems very generic to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know Braun Breaker's intro, bro.
Oh, no, got some form of a siren.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so they incorporate a bit of the Steiner siren. Yeah. So I like that.
Okay, so MSK, Creed Brothers, I'm going to go with... Actually, you know what? You changed my mind. I want to go with MSK now. Creed Brothers, still got a lot of time.
Okay, yeah, why not?
They don't need it. I think MSK need it. Yeah.
They need to build tag team, so give them more time to establish themselves.
Okay, let's move on then. Pete Dunne versus Tony D'Angelo. Tony D'Angelo. A weaponized steel cage match.
Interesting, huh? It's essentially a steel cage match with weapons inside.
Yeah. So they put it in the menu already. So we don't just think, because usually it's steel cage match, but they'll still go and drag weapons out, right? So now they're like, no, weaponize. So they put the weapons in first.
Yeah, whatever it is, like, it's actually the same shit, but they're just in a different package, right?
I think that Pete Dunne's going to put Tony D'Angelo over before either he's released or he moves up to the main roster.
Do you like Tony D'Angelo, whatever he's doing so far?
I'm not a huge fan of the gimmick. Like the Italian mafia type guy, right? But I mean, he's recognizable and memorable.
But he feels like a gimmick from the early 90s. It's not even like the Attitude Era. It feels like the new generation.
So maybe he needs to, like drop a little bit of the gimmick, but still retain some of the flavor. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I like it. My favorite gimmick that is like kind of stereotypical, but I kind of still enjoyed it. Was I really like FBI.
Oh God, that was so like stereotypical though.
Yeah, it kind of was, but it still felt like entertaining in a sense. Like it wasn't insulting my intelligence. Like I know it was campy, playing up for camp, right?
Yeah.
But it still feels like Nunzio is embodying the character, and it's not. It doesn't like insult my intelligence.
I think you just hit it on the head because it is done for lols. It is done intentionally campy, and it's like they understand it. That's why it seems okay to you. But with Tony D'Angelo, he's taking it very seriously. It's not supposed to be done for camp, but it's camp as fuck.
Yeah, unless he really goes meta and becomes like he talks like Scarface or like Tony Montana.
Well, I mean, you just have to look at someone like Roman Reigns, who is just completely 100% that character now, or that version.
Yeah, but he takes it to the extreme where like he can handle himself in any situation as that character. Like you put him on the street, even if he acts like that in the talk show, people will be like, "Yo, he's a cool guy." Well, but he's not trying to act like a cool guy.
That's why they're putting him in this weaponized steel cage match to give him the cred after he beats Pete Dunne. So, I'm just gonna go with Tony D'Angelo here. They're gonna put him over just to give him the rub lah.
I guess, but it's kind of like I rather see Pete Dunne in NXT killing it, but. I'm worried for Pete Dunne, honestly.
Yeah, because going
on the main roster.
Yeah, 205 Live probably. No, I mean.
Oh no, yeah.
To me, he is a bit of a journeyman anyway.
Really?
Anyway, yeah. I mean, even his time in NXT, he splits it, right? Sometimes he's in the UK, sometimes he's here. He's doing other promotions as well. So I feel like he will be all elite. But he's going to be one of those guys that shows up for 2 months or even 3 weeks and then disappears.
Okay. Yeah. I like him. We've seen him perform live and stuff like that. Like, it's just that the kind of match style that he does feels like an indie match style as opposed to a WrestleMania main event match style.
Yeah, which there's nothing wrong with it, It's just a different style. That's all. All right, let's move on then. Toxic Attraction, Gigi Dolan and JC Jane versus Indy Hartwell and Persia Pirotta. Okay, so there's a subplot running through this. It's very weird because Indy and Persia, they've sort of also been like booked kind of heelish, but then they are face because of the whole Dexter Lumis thing.
Yeah.
And you know what the subplot is here, right?
No.
Okay, and this is annoying because this individual is also involved in another subplot, Duke Hudson. Like Duke Hudson in a backstage promo, like it's like trying to hit on Indy, and then like I think somebody dropped I forget who it was. Somebody dropped a printed photograph. I think it was Gigi or JC. They want to mess with Indy, right? Dropped a photo of Indy and Duke. They're like hanging out like friends lah. But then they were implying that there's something a little bit more to that. Okay. I'm like, but wait a minute, isn't Duke busy with Dante, Chen, and Guru Raj?
Yeah. So the question is, why suddenly Duke Hudson is the most like popular guy in NXT right now? Doing so many things.
No, I mean, he's still a heel, right? He's still a bad guy, and he cut a promo which was pretty good. He's like, okay, he's abandoned his whole like gambling gimmick or poker gimmick. And he's like taking himself more seriously, that kind of thing. So I appreciate that, right? But like, why is he now involved in this? I guess maybe I'm also wondering because I'm like, are they abandoning the Dante Chen angle? Which is bad for us,
Yeah. No, but the thing is Dante is supposedly on injury thing, right?
Okay, so maybe Dante will come in and maybe Dante will pair up with Dexter Lumis.
You know what? I would love if Dante gets inserted into the storyline as opposed to him getting out of the storyline. Because Dante has a known friendship with Indy Hartwell. I know they are friends.
Oh.
So what if like, I don't know, maybe they all come in together and like they want to work together with each other.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind seeing Dante Chen together and seeing Dexter Lumis in the same ring. That's like great.
Yeah,
in a way.
As a tag team or something like that lah. Because there's that built-in storyline. So okay.
Problem with Dante outside of us is that no one else him at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
He needs to be paired with more recognizable faces.
Yeah,
For
i.e. Dexter Loomis. So I don't think it's time to take the titles off GG and JC, and Indy and Persia are like, all right, whatevs.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. I mean, why not?
Okay.
They still have time.
I'm thinking Duke Hudson will play a role in Toxic Attraction winning somehow. You know, they'll distract Indy because Duke is there. Then they'll further this whole, there's something between Indy and Duke storyline. So schmoz, bullshit finish, Toxic Attraction retains.
Yeah, I can see that. I think the most important thing is for Duke Hudson to still remain strong. Because if he's like a legitimate heel in NXT, they will need a legitimate face, right?
That's how you give the rub, lah. You give the heat to Dante when he beats him, lah. Finally, or he comes back to take his revenge. Yo, what's up, Shadow? It's good to see you, my man. All is
Hello.
great. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way. Thanks for going on a date with us here today on this Monday afternoon. Okay, main event time. Let's go. Braun Breaker versus Santos Escobar.
Interestingly, there is the hanging, looming shadow of Dolph Ziggler and Tommaso Ciampa involved in the whole situation. Are they going to be involved, or is it just going to be a straight up one-on-one match?
This is going to be a one-on-one match. I think it's going to be a schmoz finish with the other two somehow inserting themselves into it. So I don't think that Braun is going to drop the championship to Santos, but I think Santos will have some sort of a gripe after, so that obviously they're leading to a fatal four-way some point.
Yeah. So, okay, I only got one issue with the Dolph Ziggler segment. I really enjoyed whatever he said, whatever he did, the crowd reaction, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But then once Ciampa came in and all three of them suddenly had this interaction, I felt like Santos Escobar was the most afterthought out of all of them. And he's supposed to be the one challenging for the title.
Right. Well, I mean, I think it's because like the Dolph Ziggler effect. Tommaso Ciampa as well. They're all established names. So yeah, you're right. He might have, been pushed to a side a little bit. I have to bring up something that's happening in the chat right now. Do we have the real Dante Chen in chat right now with us?
Hey, is this Dante Chen? He just said, Duke just better be careful about getting distracted.
Dante Chen in the house, the real. What's up, dude? It's
What's
been a
up,
while,
bro?
my friend.
Unless, right, Dante, you suddenly have a lot of fans already starting to make fake accounts with your name. I don't want to say that.
Hey, that's also a good thing, whatever it is.
Yeah,
But
man. Hey, what time is it in Florida, man, bro? Let us know, man.
it's like midnight, 1 a.m., something
Yeah,
like
are you
that.
like checking us out in the middle of the night when you're supposed to be going on Valentine's Day dates, bro?
A date at 1 a.m.? A bit, well,
Maybe
okay.
they already finished the date. If you know what I mean.
Okay. Well, I mean, technically it's still Sunday, right? So Valentine's Day hasn't happened yet.
Okay. So whatever it is, don't be checking the podcast while you're in the middle of some naughty time. Please, make us feel awkward, bro.
What are you talking about? Dante, Irvin says, Scully is Duke posing as Dante.
Yeah, man. Hey, hopefully that's not the case. I think Duke doesn't check the podcast, but I hope Dante rewind back by a few seconds and understand what all the booking potential that we were trying to make for him in NXT, right?
Dante busy rehabbing, after the horrendous attack by Duke.
Yes, clearly he is rehabbing by the best way possible, listening to the podcast. You see, guys, Dante Chen approved. Let's go.
All right. So, I mean, we just basically ran through Vengeance Day right there.
Yep.
And like I said, I am very, very much excited to watch this. A little bit more so than what Raw and SmackDown has been putting on the table.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like usually there's this lull period after Royal Rumble building up the Elimination Chamber. And then after Elimination Chamber, like when everything's kind of clear, you kind of know what to expect. That's when like the hype builds up for WrestleMania. That's how I feel usually. So it's very understandable.
And this year they're doing Stand and Deliver as well. I'm not sure if it's its own pay-per-view or if it's like, the
USA Network show, right?
Like an NXT show, right? So I have to go and double check on that. I don't know if they've announced that yet. But, I wonder if that's what they're aiming for. So they drag this storyline with Dolph and Tommaso and Braun and Santos all the way there. So they have...
With?
What do you mean? Oh. Our first spot of lag, ladies and gentlemen. But we're good. We're back. Okay, here we go. A little bit of lag. It wouldn't be a lag without... it wouldn't be a stream lag lag. So
Yeah. But don't worry, it's all good. It's all good. I think at the end of the day, the most important thing is Dante Chen is in the chat box, bro. What's up with that?
anyway, once again, it's good to see you, Dante. I hope everything is going well over there in Florida. Okay, let's move on then. It's time to talk about Elimination Chamber, the big SAUDI-MANIA event that is happening, I believe, on Sunday morning for us.
I think they are really going permanently with these Saturday pay-per-views, huh?
Well, I mean, here's the thing too. Like Sunday morning being Sunday 3 a.m.
Because it's Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, because
it's their own timing.
Yeah, they in Saudi Arabia. So in the US, I believe it's like on a Saturday afternoon.
Okay, I know why, bro. I know why. Saudi Arabia, the time difference in Singapore is about 6 hours.
Yeah.
So they can only start their shows at 9 p.m. because I think they have to finish their 5 prayers in a day.
Okay.
So they can't start at 7 p.m. because it's like evening prayer. Then the last final prayer of the night is like 8:20. So
wow, they'll be there at the arena for damn long, yeah? Until like what time? 1 a.m., 2 a.m.
Maybe.
Anyway, yeah. So okay, so that's what's happening, right? And interestingly enough, I was like, how are they going to get some of the SmackDown stars back? I mean, there. And I found out, I kind of Googled it. I Googled, is SmackDown taped this week? And yes, SmackDown is taped this week. So you want spoilers?
Do you have spoilers already?
I already saw the Intercontinental Championship match spoiler.
Wait, so they taped the SmackDown on last week's SmackDown, like right after back to back.
Yeah, so, I don't know if it's back to back, but they've already taped it anyway, so that SmackDown will air on Friday night, and then they all faster get on the. I mean, so they don't have to rush to fly to Saudi Arabia. They can fly there first.
Oh, okay, got it. So it's still the same timing as it is like normal Friday night.
Interestingly enough, did AEW purposely push Rampage earlier just because they knew that SmackDown was taped? Because I believe this week Rampage starts earlier.
Interesting. Is that so? Well, you know what? We are fans from the other side of the world, so it doesn't really matter to us.
Yeah, spoiler alert. But anyway, I believe WWE themselves have already spoiled the Intercontinental Championship match results. And honestly, the title right now means nothing, so who cares who has?
Yeah. I mean, why not? Fuck it, just tell us.
Sami Zayn is...
Of course.
Yeah. And here's the thing, right? Good, because Shinsuke hasn't been doing shit with it, and this has nothing to do with Shinsuke. It has everything to do with like the booking.
Yeah, and also it feels like Rick Books is being pushed more than Shinsuke at this point in time.
So like we all know that Sami Zayn just re-signed, right? So is this they are like, okay lah, thank you for re-signing. Here, have the Intercontinental Championship for a bit.
But if that's the case, what the hell has Kevin Owens gotten as a thank you for re-signing that?
Hey, main event.
Oh yeah, he get to fight Damian Priest, bro, for the US title.
So maybe he's gonna get the US title.
They for them got win mid-card championships. Good for them.
Yeah, it's like signing bonus. Maybe there's a clause like I must win a championship. Okay, like give you the US championship lah.
But you know what that means? This is what I'm afraid of, bro.
Yeah.
They better not let Johnny Knoxville challenge Sami Zayn for the title at WrestleMania.
Oh,
come on.
Oh shit, no. Oh my god.
You didn't think about that?
No, I did not think about that, but now that you've mentioned it, I'm like, oh my god, that would be horrendous.
You know that it's like Johnny Knoxville is keeping Sami Zayn's name in the media outlets in all his interviews, bro.
But still, it's okay. Like Bad Bunny is one thing, because Bad Bunny, like you can see he legit trained. You know, he respects the business. I don't think Johnny Knoxville is going to wrestling camp every day.
He is what, 50 years old?
Yeah,
he's an old man already, right?
It's going to look so. I don't even want to think about it.
Unless he actually pairs up with a legitimate wrestler and like become his manager. At least like if it's Damian Priest and Bad Bunny, then at least it's okay.
Yeah,
or he uses somebody as his replacement. But
who else, bro? Rick Boogs.
Could it be Rick Books challenging? I mean, that would build Rick Books' name.
And it also makes sense because they have a few, and then like Shinsuke, poor thing, just disappears. Or maybe it goes back to NXT.
Or maybe it goes back to New Japan. Might as well just go home. Go home.
Okay, here we go. SAUDI-MANIA, like I said, Sunday morning, so we'll probably watch this on a Sunday afternoon. I'm not staying up at 3 a.m. to watch this lah.
Don't worry, we'll still review it at our normal time.
Yeah. I mean, and as good as the card actually kind of looks, you know. Oh, apparently, I read a dirt sheet just before we came on stream, right? WWE is thinking of editing out the Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey contract signing. Because
editing out?
Yeah, because SmackDown is taped, remember? So there was a spot where Ronda grabs Charlotte Flair's head and smashes it onto the table in the ring.
Yeah.
And it looked quite botched lah.
Oh, okay. So then how did we do?
Charlotte Flair hesitates. They didn't. So they are either thinking of, and this is according to Uncle Dave Meltzer, they are thinking of either scrapping the entire shot and not airing it on TV, or just really they need to have like a lot of cuts.
Or they redo the whole contract signing on another SmackDown.
They can't do. Well, they could do it next week. Yeah.
Yeah, they can, because technically they're not having a match at Elimination Chamber, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're having a tag team match, not a title match. So you're right. They could redo it at a later date lah. So they just cut it out of this week's SmackDown. So.
That better.
Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, talking about it, let's go then. Ronda Rousey and Naomi versus Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville. I mean, okay, before we talk about the card itself, how interesting is it, huh? Remember like how many years ago when they had their first women's match in Saudi Arabia, it was such a big deal?
Yeah.
Fast forward to 2022 and you have several, not just like one match, not just one elimination, but several matches with women headlining.
Yeah, we got three matches, right?
Yeah.
All different combinations. Yeah, it's actually really amazing. And okay, I need to give you some context because I did watch SmackDown this week. And honestly, did you hear or do you watch a bit of Naomi versus Charlotte Flair?
Yeah, of course. They had I mean, we all know that they can go lah, you know. I don't think that Naomi's in-ring capabilities have ever been, put to question.
Yeah, but I was so surprised by the reaction from the audience. Like the audience was super into it and it really made Naomi like the biggest baby face in the world. So I feel like as much as we shit on like Sonya Deville like forever like bullying this girl, but no payout, no nothing happened. But the payoff is there. Like you can see by the way the crowd is Naomi.
Maybe it worked after all. I still reserve judgment lah for that.
Okay.
I mean, does the match itself made Naomi, relevant again?
Yes.
But is it going to make her a star after this program?
You know what? Even if it doesn't make her a star, she'll be the one carrying the load of this tag team match instead of Ronda Rousey. Come on.
Yeah, that's quite obvious. Huh? Ronda Rousey is just going to come in for a few heat spots. That's about it.
My question is, how does Ronda feel that the person opposite her, who is the MMA equivalent of the Heat, is Sonya Deville and not her friend Shayna Baszler?
I mean, that's quite sad. And remember, like, they had that moment at the Rumble, and for a moment, we were like, could they do something? Nope, Shayna Baszler nowhere to be seen.
I don't think she's been seen since Royal Rumble, huh?
Why? Like, what happened? Is she out rehabbing? Is she... did she just give up with the WWE and their booking? And why has the WWE given up on her? Because there's so many stories you can tell anyway.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that it's Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey as opposed to versus Becky Lynch. I don't know why they didn't pull the trigger with that.
Well, the rumor is, if you are to believe, once again, the dirt sheet, right? The match that they want for WrestleMania in Hollywood is Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey. And
so they're willing to wait a year for it.
Yeah, Rock versus Roman Reigns. So those are the ones that they really are aiming for.
Honestly, that is amazing. But I just feel like you're so willing to save up the big stuff for another year's WrestleMania. Like, can you still deliver at this year? It feels like 10 years ago where they were so fixated with Cena versus Rock that they completely used WrestleMania 27 as bill for WrestleMania 28 1 year later.
So now they're doing earlier with
even before.
Becky and Ronda. So I mean, it's fine. It's good to have long-term booking. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just like we know by WrestleMania, after WrestleMania, Ronda will be gone, or maybe she'll stick around for a few months. She'll disappear for like half a year, 3/4 of a year, then come back for Becky Lynch.
I think this tag team match, could be in the baby faces losing. I think that's the only way to keep the momentum going, in my opinion.
Yeah. But hey, payday for everybody. So yeah. We all know about the money. money and these Saudi shows.
It's a very morbid way. I'm very curious to see how the women dress for this event, like all four of them.
I mean, it's going to be like standard, right? So they'll have like, I think, okay. So remember, I forgot I think it was Natalia versus Lacey Evans. They are super covered up, right?
Yeah.
And it felt like the last minute cover up. So there was no design on their bodysuits.
Okay.
I think 1 year after that, I forget who it was. I think it might have been Sasha Banks.
The triple threat? Bianca, Sasha, and Becky. Yeah.
They were completely covered up, but they had like more design. So it looked like it was part of their costume or their outfit.
Yeah, like I don't mind they kind of still make it look cool because I just don't want them to look like they're wearing a potato sack.
Yeah,
it takes it away from the match.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Which is what they were doing for like some of the first few, where they're literally like, all right, just cover up and put a Raw t-shirt on, you know, or your whatever merchandise, just put it on.
Yeah. Just let them. I mean, the women are creative and they love fashion, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure they can look fashionable even if they do cover up.
Okay, first of all, Charlotte Flair has been coming out to bodysuits anyway, so it's actually gonna make sense, right? Naomi technically is already wearing a bodysuit. She just has to zip it up a little bit more. You know?
Okay. That's funny. Okay. Yeah, sure.
Sonya maybe will come out in a suit.
Yeah. Okay, all of them are fine. Like, it would be interesting if WWE was still like RA or like Super TV14, I mean.
Yeah.
And then like all the girls are all sexy and like that is their gimmick. Imagine how they're gonna how is Carmella gonna pull off being Carmella?
That's why Carmella is not on the card.
Okay.
Well, okay. Then again, that's the question, and we'll get to that in just a bit. So, okay, you're going for the heels winning. I will agree with you on that. Let's talk about Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss.
Yeah.
Falls count anywhere because they need to give us a reason to give a shit.
Yeah, they better because nothing that they're doing is making us give a shit.
So I kind of don't care here. Like, I mean, if Madcap Moss wins because of Happy Corbin, of course, right? Like, does it really put over Madcap? Go away, Heat, right now.
The thing I hate about the whole fact is actually Riddick Moss looks like a star. Like, he has the body, the size. He can wrestle. He can actually go in the ring. But his name is like Deacon Batista. No.
Well, I mean, okay, if that means he gets to have a showcase with Drew McIntyre, you know, like Drew is trying to put him over, then maybe down the road he ditches this gimmick, and at least it's something. He's getting TV time, he's getting airtime.
Yeah. Okay, I hope people like Madcap Moss, Rich Holland can transcend and rise above their current gimmicks because both of them have the potential to be badass looking stars. They already look like stars.
Yeah, even Happy Corbin, I want him to transcend and become something. Like, we have all seen his potential, you know, and like...
Yeah, like Corbin, right, with his potential should be actually a world champion, at least one, even a one-off champion.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, okay, Drew McIntyre wins here. I don't want this to continue. I really don't.
Yeah, and I hope Drew McIntyre has something legitimate to do at WrestleMania because I think he deserves it. Yeah.
You know, of course, in the WWE world, by the way, I find this very funny. Like, it is okay to threaten people with a sword. Apparently, it's good guys can do that. If a heel did that, it would be like, wow, it would be like the most horrible thing. But no, he's in the ring threatening Madcap Moss with decapitation with a sword. Okay, like yeah,
bro. If in any country that would be cheered for, I'm sure Saudi Arabia will love it.
Oh my god!
The crowd will be like, yes.
Oh my god! I hope he doesn't bring the sword. That would be so wrong on so many levels, bro.
Okay, this is fucking random. But have you seen this video of like, I think Trump was going for a meeting with the Saudi Arabian leaders. Yeah. All of them were dancing with a sword.
Oh yeah,
and like their sword was hanging like their dicks out like that.
Oh shit, that's so wrong. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's like Triple H had his sledgehammer, Edge had their chairs, Drew McIntyre's sword.
A bit much lah.
So when is the sword on a pole match? When if you retrieve the sword becomes legal.
They should have like loser gets executed by decapitation or some shit.
Okay. Anyway, this is your PG product for you right there. The Usos versus the Viking Raiders. I mean, they've been trying to rehab the Viking Raiders, but they are cold as ice right now. Like,
they were more interesting playing
Heels.
Bowling with Street
fuck.
Profit.
Really? No,
Even more interesting than now.
they were way interesting when they first came from NXT and people were chanting Raid, Raid, Raid. And now it's like they literally have to put the words Raid on the big Titantron. Raid, Raid, to get people to chant Raid, Raid, and nobody gives a crap.
Of course lah. First of all, you change their name.
Yeah.
Second of all of them either get injured too often or just disappear off TV. And then like they haven't been relevant. Like they bought so many great tag teams. Like I'm still pissed off with AOP. My personal opinion.
Yeah, so anyway, the Usos are retaining against the Viking Raiders. Yeah, who cares? Let's move on. Let's move on. Nothing else to see here. Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Doudrop, Ash, and TBA. Okay, this is the interesting one. This is the Elimination Chamber match. Oh, I thought okay. The winner gets a title shot at WrestleMania.
Against Becky Lynch, right?
Against Becky Lynch. So, who is going to be the TBA?
Yeah, because like you said, people like Carmella is not on the show. Shayna Baszler is not there.
I don't think Carmella or Shayna Baszler at this point, if they were revealed, surprise debut or re-debut, right? Surprise entrant. I don't think it would be like a spectacular moment.
You know who I want to be in the match?
Who? Okay,
just so there's a couple, right? So like Alexa Bliss would have been interesting, but I don't know whether she rehab enough already. I know, I see the look on your face. She would have been interesting, but she's not my choice.
Unfortunately, right now with these ridiculous therapy videos, I've lost all hype for Alexa Bliss. It's sad.
So it wasn't the videos didn't hype you up, but it made you like de-hype.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, if you didn't air any of this shit and Alexa Bliss shows up here, I would pop. I would be like, oh, now that you've aired these stupid vignettes and she shows up, I'm like, okay, because let's not forget, so far there has been no progress. This is like the fucking AMFO bullshit that's on AEW. It's like every episode, every interaction they have is the same thing. There's no progression here.
Yeah, well, like I said, she's not my choice. What I would prefer is if they actually have the women's Raw match as one of the first few matches. Lita loses, but then she enters the chamber.
Oh my god! Okay.
Yeah, like she does a Brock Lesnar essentially.
Okay. The problem with that, logically, it makes no sense. And even the Rumble thing kind of didn't make any sense. You mean to tell me that the Rumble, we are just keeping the 30th free? Like nobody had that 30th slot? That makes no sense, right?
Yep.
And they never addressed it, by the way.
Yeah, so they can give the loophole to themselves lah.
They're
creating the rules, right?
But if you think about it in the logical sense, it's stupid. Like, why do you have a mystery 30th slot?
Yeah, so like it would make sense in WWE's logic, right? It would make sense if Lita gets screwed out of the title.
Sure.
Or some shit happens and then like she somehow forces her way backstage or what to get a title shot. Which is exactly what, if you think about it, what Becky Lynch did when she won the Royal Rumble. Remember? She wasn't supposed to be in the match.
Yeah, okay, but at least they fucking played it off. Like Nia Jax destroyed somebody on the way to the Rumble.
Lana.
Yeah, destroyed Lana, right? And then at least they had that play out. Becky Lynch came out like put me in, and then Fit Finlay, nepotism, because both from
Nah, come on, not because of that.
Okay, no.
Think what? He got stroke, is it?
Yeah. Well, no, he was the one who said, all right, you're in the match. So at least,
I remember.
Somebody was injured. She was a last minute replacement. Like with Rumble, literally there was no explanation. Nobody got beat up back. It was like, we are just leaving this one blank for no fucking reason whatsoever. And if they did that here, it would be the same problem. And lucky is worse because Rumble, at least you have 30. You mean to tell me for this match, we're just going to keep that last slot open for no rhyme or reason. We'll just see who wants to just jump in at the last minute. Wow, that one would be a very far-fetched. And if that happened, my eyes would roll so far into my head, it would come out of my ass.
Who would you want then? Who would be your pick to go in and how do you book it?
Bailey? It would have to be a big return.
Bailey.
Yeah.
I I didn't even think about it. I mean, honestly, she was who I wanted to win the Royal Rumble, but she didn't even show up.
Yep.
If she returns here and she wins, right? Damn, Bailey versus Becky Lynch, why not?
Yeah. It's interesting that Lita is not going to WrestleMania against Becky Lynch, but hey, maybe Lita will face off against Sasha Banks or somebody else, or Lita
Like
versus
a
Bianca.
one-off dream match.
Yeah, or Lita Bianca. Bianca needs a dance partner, a showcase match.
Honestly, I think if Lita's not gonna be the one winning, she's still it's like a attraction.
Yep, exactly.
Kind
Yeah, she will be an attraction match, and you want to give it to somebody who, or Rhea Ripley, or I want to say Liv Morgan, but nah.
Nah. After Dewdrop beat her ass last week or so, I'm like, I think she needs to go back down the card.
Yeah.
But Bailey is interesting. I would be so on for it. Yeah.
Sasha is injured, is it?
She is back though. She come back at the Royal Rumble?
I don't know. She's been injured so many times. It's kind of ridiculous. At this point, it's like, is she here? She's like Lance Archer or
She's like Park.
Yeah, but it shows up for 2 weeks and then disappears for 3 months, and it shows up for 3 weeks, disappears for 4 months. It's like, I don't even know what to. Oh, how come none of us thought of that? So traditional.
Oh, Lacey Evans. But nah, she's not the star that I want to see return.
No, you're right. Trish Stratus, another legend. Maybe they convince her to come back.
Then Trish versus Lita at WrestleMania one last time.
No lah, Trish versus Becky lah.
Yeah, Trish hasn't fought Becky yet.
Okay, it's interesting that, it's kind of wide open as to who that could be. But yeah, if they really have Lita lose and then throw Lita in here, it would just make no fucking sense whatsoever. We couldn't find anybody for the last spot, so come on, Lita, you go in. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't put WWE past that to be able to pull that off and somehow explain away their reason, right?
Alvin says Santina. Barella. No, cannot.
No, bro. No, just no.
Okay, if it's Carmella, I think it would just be lazy booking because
booking.
Yeah, it would make no sense for it to be a mystery then,
Yeah. Then I think Bailey. But fingers crossed is somebody like Bailey, like a legitimate surprise return that would make up for it.
Asuka, Bailey or Asuka would be the two I would choose.
Yeah, Asuka. I haven't seen her in a while. That would be awesome as well.
Mickey James. Oh my god.
The forbidden. No, Saudi Arabia. They don't want to pay for her flight there. Too expensive.
Zelina. Oh, stop it, Irvin. Zelina. Queen Zelina.
Aaliyah.
Oh my god! If it's Aaliyah, I would literally I would be deceased.
Aaliyah 316. 317. That's her gimmick, right?
So bad. She is so boring and bland, and poor Natalia has to
No, man. She is my women's crush Wednesday, bro.
Ooh,
Come
Aaliyah?
on. Yeah, she hot AF, bro.
Okay, great. Yeah, she's hot AF, but who gives a crap about anything she's doing right now, storyline wise? And in the ring as well. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, all right. I mean, come on, guys. Come on. I'm pretty sure Joe Corner Pro or whoever it is will agree with me. Edison, right? Come on. Aaliyah.
Becky Lynch, champion. Lita, challenger for the Raw Women's title. Lita's not winning this. Not yet.
Yeah, we kind of said it already, yeah.
Yeah, so Becky Lynch retains due to shenanigans lah.
Honestly, this is a dream match. I'm happy that both of them are clashing.
Yeah.
But Lita is not gonna have a return and win the title as much as we would love for that to happen, but nah.
Yeah, I mean, she's obviously there to put over, young talent, give them the dream matches.
Yeah, and Becky is untouchable right now. She needs to be the star champion going into WrestleMania.
True. Okay, which is the bigger match to you? Universal Championship or WWE Championship? Because the WWE Championship will be in the Elimination Chamber, I'm thinking it should be the last match. So
I do not want Goldberg to end the show.
Oh my god, you're right. So maybe Roman Reigns versus Goldberg starts the show.
Yeah, why not?
Or the midway point, if you want to split it out and have the other Elimination Chamber first. Then yeah, you have Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman versus Goldberg. Okay, here we go. I mean, is there a more transparent money grab than Goldberg coming back just in time for Saudi Arabia? Is it not obvious to the universe?
Goldberg must have really a lot of fans in Saudi Arabia. I think like maybe the entire country grew up on Goldberg or for some reason.
They only watch WCW or whatever the case may be, right? But no, like we all know that the payday for Saudi-Mania is almost as good as WrestleMania, right? So it's like, yeah, and he only reappears during this time. So it's very obvious his motivations. And I think for me, that's like a huge turnoff.
It might be a huge red flag, but then again, I don't think Goldberg is politicking his way and trying to like, hey, put me only on these shows and stuff like that.
No,
he's just following what orders WWE ask him to do. So it's really WWE is the one that is a turn-off.
Yeah, they are the one dangling the money, right? They need, we need a big name. Let's ask Goldberg. Goldberg only comes out for the money, you know?
So like I get like the hate that he gets, but I just think that Goldberg just doing whatever is right for his family and like it's a good deal for him. It benefits him. Okay, why not?
Yeah. But I mean, did you see his promo?
Well, it's Goldberg cutting Goldberg promos. What do you expect? I expect him to suddenly become like thespian artist, like can do promos like Edge or what? Right?
I am not interested in this match whatsoever. I just want Roman Reigns to beat him, and that's it. Move on.
Okay, you know what's funny, right? You said, I remember earlier in the podcast, you said Ric Flair is like a one-trick pony.
Yeah. Oh.
But like if you talk about one trick, I tell you, Goldberg has Ric Flair beat, bro. He literally just only got one trick.
Literally, his moveset also one trick, huh?
Yeah.
Jackhammer spear.
It's funny, but like Ric Flair does it so many times, but it becomes almost.
Yeah.
But Goldberg hasn't reached that level yet.
No. Oh my god. So okay. Obviously they have to make Roman Reigns being the heel that he is. Like he'll give him some offense. You know, Roman Reigns not that large so that Goldberg still can throw him around pretty handily.
Yeah. That's true. Oh, Beef Royalty says something very funny. I'm surprised Goldberg still got draw. Please, Lesnar, come out and just suplex him out of the WWE.
Div also says Sandberg got special appearance or not. I hope so.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious. Sandberg versus Hook. Book it. WrestleMania 40.
Yeah, man. I hope Sandberg got the look, bro. He got the Metheny Idols look. Clearly, he got it from the not the
Okay, so this match, right? Roman Reigns has to come out on top. There's no way he's dropping the title to Goldberg. The only question is, does Brock Lesnar come out and fuck with Roman Reigns?
That is the question indeed, but I don't think they can just keep it separate.
Yeah, true.
Honestly, because in the promo, I remember Roman Reigns something saying along the lines of like, I'm not even thinking about Brock Lesnar. He's not important. He's irrelevant right now.
But then again, there's the whole Paul Heyman thing. So, like, doesn't Brock Lesnar want to take some form of revenge? Or you could argue that he's busy focusing on his match.
Yeah, I rather to keep them apart, not have any interaction because like I said, he really has his hands full with Lashley. And Roman Reigns just go and get the payday, beat up Goldberg senseless until he gets out of WWE. Like, and don't forget, this was supposed to be the main event match of WrestleMania 36 before Roman Reigns backed out. Can you imagine?
Yeah, just don't injure Roman Reigns can already. Like, just keep it safe. Yes. Do simple moves. I don't care if it's just punch kick. Just take your money and fuck off.
Bro, his punch people can get concussion, bro.
Oh yeah, that's true. He kicked Bret Hart into retirement.
Yeah, so let's hope. I mean, I'm just gonna enjoy it for what it is. I'm gonna enjoy the Goldberg entrance. I'm gonna enjoy the fireworks. I'm gonna enjoy people chanting Goldberg, and that's it lah.
I'm hoping for them to finally get sick of Goldberg and they start booing him. But who knows? They are like whatever. I can't even begin to care about this match.
Yeah. I don't even get mad anymore, bro. The best way is just like, oh, okay, Goldberg is back. Okay, hi.
Yeah.
He's like that. He's like the absent father that, you just accept lah. That's who he is lah.
Yeah. And he just comes back for the money. Anyway, and then, okay, if we put it like that, if we frame it like that, right, it might matter where they put this match. Because if, let's say, for whatever reason, they put this match last, right?
Yeah.
Then whatever happens in the Elimination Chamber might affect this outcome.
Yes, correct. But the outcome is already, there is no uncertainty there, right? You know what is the outcome for the match for Roman Reigns. So Roman Reigns is definitely going to win the title. He's going to go to WrestleMania. Yeah. The question is, what's going to happen in the chamber? So that's the thing that I find interesting because does Lesnar straight up win? Does he get a small attack from Roman Reigns or the Usos or Heyman? Lashley keeps the title. I personally don't want Lesnar to win the WWE title and make it a unification match, in my opinion.
I feel like, okay, if they are aiming for the biggest match possible at WrestleMania, it has to be a title unification match, right?
Okay.
At the same time, like you said, like I feel like they're doing Bobby Lashley dirty if they take the title off of him, put it on Brock Lesnar again, you know?
Yeah.
And this match already has enough momentum behind it that it doesn't need to be title unification. But at the same time too, once in a lifetime, title unification, you only get one shot to do it. So we all know that WWE loves these moments. Like first ever title unification match at WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Like it's just a prettier main event package to me.
I don't want it because, like you said, like that was the point of Lesnar winning in the first place, to drop it to Lashley, only to drop it again. Like it just does Lashley dirty, and then it makes Lashley's spot on the card for WrestleMania very uncertain, right?
But I don't think they care. Have they ever showed that they care? They just care about this marquee match.
But Lashley has, honestly, this year, or maybe this past year, Lashley has really become a star in my eyes. Like, yeah, he still cut shitty promos, but like, I think he carries himself like a star.
Yeah.
And I know we do not know whether WWE is capable of like thinking long term, but they need to think that there is a main event scene beyond Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, and they need to build it up. So they can't keep the title just revolving around these two people all the time.
Yep.
Keep Lashley there as a separate champion. Build up someone new. Whether it's Drew McIntyre coming back to fight for the title, or I mean Big E is just gone right now, unfortunately. But like
Big E is apparently teaming with Kofi again at of the New Day. And here's another thing, I don't think they've ever explained it. How come after Royal Rumble he transferred back to SmackDown?
Yeah, he quietly went back to SmackDown, right? And that's it. No explanation.
Ah, shit, man.
Gone. Can you imagine if you were Big E, you really won the title so hard, you did all these media appearances, you were called the WWE champion. You start the year, you lose the title, and that's it. You're back down to where you were.
Yeah, you're not even like still on Raw trying to vie in the main event scene. No, you're back to where you started. No, okay, not started. Where you were last very popular and relevant. Back with Kofi Kingston in the New Day, putting over Los Lotharios.
Yeah, where is Xavier Woods? Did he get injured or?
Yeah, I think he's rehabbing something.
Okay. Yeah, so I feel bad for Big E. So that means there's one main eventer out of the title picture. But who goes out to fight Lashley? That would be interesting. Because I don't mind if someone actually have a breakout performance in this chamber match. Who would it be though? Let's look at the people in the chamber itself.
Well, Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, Seth freaking Rollins, Austin Theory, Riddle, AJ Styles.
Austin Theory, AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, Riddle.
I don't know if Austin Theory, Riddle are ready for main event like at WrestleMania just yet. You know, obviously they are potential for the future lah. So we are down to AJ Styles and Seth Rollins. Now, I read a rumor that AJ Styles and Edge want to work with each other for WrestleMania. And that's a match we've never seen before. That's a very interesting one. Yeah.
That would have been a badass match. A part of me would still like AJ Styles to actually fight for the WWE Championship and go back to the main event.
Yeah.
AJ and Lashley. I don't know whether they fought in Impact or TNA before, but that to me that's the main event match as well.
Yeah. But funnily enough, I don't really like care for that match. I don't know why. It just like you said it, I was like, okay, yeah, I don't think I've seen them like, really have a program, but I also like, whatever.
Yeah. Well, then would that mean Seth Rollins goes back to the main event, Seth versus Lashley?
I think Seth anytime can. Anytime you put him in there. But did you hear the rumor that he was supposed to have been starting a feud with Shane McMahon going into WrestleMania?
What the fucking randoms, yeah.
Yeah, apparently Shane was supposed to come back at the Rumble, right? And then start a program heading into WrestleMania to face off against Seth.
But what's the conflict?
Whatever, they can make some shit up lah. He called him stupid.
Nah.
They've started beef for dumber reasons, literally stupid reasons. Okay.
Yeah. Well, nah. You tell me that I'm not interested at all. So I'm glad they scrapped that.
Yeah. Thank goodness that is completely off the table and out the window already. So
yeah.
I honestly don't know, but in a lot of ways, I don't see anybody else taking the title. I hope, I wish, I pray that they would actually, swerve us a little bit once in a while and give it to a Seth or give it to a freaking Riddle. But that's not going to happen.
Give it to Austin Theory. Holy shit.
Yeah,
that would be fucking random, bro. Okay. But right now, as of now, who do you predict to actually win this match? Brock.
I am, as much as I don't want it to happen, I feel like the writing's on the wall. They want Brock versus Reigns, Lesnar versus Reigns, title for title at WrestleMania.
It would be the biggest match that they can possibly do. Confirm for sure.
Yeah.
And if they unify the title and then the title becomes like just a single division, I'm willing to let that be the thing if that is the direction they're going, because clearly there's not enough main eventers right now. But say goodbye to the rest of your roster lah. It does a relevance.
Well, I mean, I don't. I'm gonna unify the title and only have one title. I think it's gonna be like Becky 2 belt situation, where down the road they will lose one lah, and wow. But then again, can you imagine Roman Reigns dominating WWE for one more year with both belts? Actually, like, how epic would that match be then? Him versus The Rock.
But if you see, if The Rock comes back 1 year later, and after that 1 year, Roman Reigns has had another 1 year of a title reign.
Yeah.
So what, The Rock puts over Roman Reigns some more? Like, does he even need to be put over?
Yeah. Sure, why not? Just really give him everything, yeah.
Just, fuck. And then after that, can you imagine if like all this investment happens and then like something happened with Roman, he walks away from WWE, or he got medical condition again, touch wood.
Yeah.
Like, it's really a lot to, and you talk about how WWE doesn't want to rely on just one star, but they are becoming a one-star company again.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. Good luck to them. It's interesting to see where they go with this lah. It really is. And let's not forget, there's 2 nights of WrestleMania, so they could come up with some weird thing where somebody wrestles twice.
Yeah, I'm so glad I'm not the one booking this.
Yeah. No,
Let's just put it that way.
Well, then again, once WWE 2K22 comes out, we can book these things.
It's next month.
Holy shit, y'all, it's gonna be great. Anyway, that's your Elimination Chamber preview. I am excited to watch Elimination Chamber, don't get me wrong. If anything, just to see where all these storylines fall into place on the road to WrestleMania.
I think overall, I'm kind of like maybe 60-70% excited. Not because I don't mind it. Actually, like we talked about it before. The last time they were in Saudi Arabia, Crown Jewel was a really good show.
Yep.
Easily one of the best pay-per-views of last year. So like, they might surprise us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now that the cat's out of the bag, where like, we know that, the Crown Prince, they wanted more out of these shows and not just glorified house shows. So yeah, WWE are going to put in effort. And when they put in effort into the booking, into the promotion, we know that the wrestlers will do what they do, which is perform at a high level.
Yeah, I hope it's going to be a great chamber match. If you guys didn't check out our previous wrestling short video that we put out over the weekend, we talk about our top 5 favorite or best Elimination Chamber matches of all time. So hopefully this might join the list.
Yeah.
Why not?
The list of Jericho? No. Anyway, yes, go check out our latest video. It's like Foreign mentioned, it's on our YouTube page. And of course, if you haven't already, do us a favor, hit like, hit subscribe on this video as well. And yeah, man, before we wrap up, as always, if only if you can.
Yes.
We have to plug the Patreon page.
Of course.
Please. There you go. So yes, Kick to the Guy, we have a Patreon page with several tiers. So, find whatever is okay for you. And if you would like to show us a little bit more support, you can join us at developmental, undercard, midcard. Yes, we all have wrestling themed tiers for memberships on our Patreon page with benefits, by the way. Every tier has different benefits, stuff like that. And plus, we are looking to do something a little special and add one more benefit that we can't really talk about yet because it's not finalized yet. But once it happens, I think it's going to be really, really awesome.
Yes, for sure. And this will really contribute to help us continue running this podcast. I wish we could say that we can run this podcast for the rest of our life just like that as a fan. But this takes up a lot of effort and a lot of our time, and we want it to be rewarding because we are fully grown adults with medical and financial responsibilities. So we really, really hope that if you guys love what we do, like I said, you see, you all support us, right? See, now my internet connection is much better. It's not my fault this time around.
Yeah. But like we always say, subscribe at whatever tier is comfortable for you. And as always, you can join us on our Discord channel. That's absolutely free. The link is in our description. Come by and, be part of the community. Talk wrestling with your fellow wrestling fam.
Yeah, man. Oh, we always give a shout out every single episode to The Shadow.
Yes.
You can see his name's on the ticker because he's our top Patreon right now.
That's right. Hell yeah. Okay, guys, enjoy Elimination Chamber. And we'll be back next week, of course, to talk about Elimination Chamber and whatever else happens during the week in terms of pro wrestling. There's always something to talk about, so there's never a lack of content.
Yes. And of course, since you're doing plugs, right? Guys, please don't forget to stream, watch, and like and subscribe to my new single. I just dropped a new single over the weekend.
Hell yeah.
Dust It Off.
Dust It Off by Foreign. Can we give everybody a preview of what the video looks like?
Sure, bro. I mean, are you going to play it here? Why not?
No, I'm not going to play it. I'm just going to show you the video on YouTube right now. So go on to YouTube and search for Dust It Off, okay?
Foreign FRGN. So I make music on the side. And if any one of you actually went down to the Grapple Match show, I actually did a song for one of the wrestlers. So if you all caught it, let me know if you all liked it.
Wait, hold on. Can we actually talk about that already since, it was played?
Because it's out, the cat is out in the bag already, man. It's already been played.
That's right.
Yeah. So last week we had our... Oh, please, Mr. Young, you want to play it first?
No. I just want to give you guys a little bit of a preview here. Boom, there you go. Look at that. A bit laggy right now. No worries. Dust it off.
Who's that? My young boy motherfucker over there on the right.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, man. I wanted to show some love to playing basketball. So we got a basketball gang. I try to play every week. Big fan of basketball, and of course, I got to put in some wrestling references as well in the single. So if the lyrics, you will know.
There you go. Okay, I don't know why my camera is frozen. I think it is a sign for me to get the hell out of here and get back to what we are supposed to get back to on this Valentine's Day. So once again, we thank you so much for keeping us company. And if you're listening to this on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, thank you so much for downloading the podcast.
Yeah, man, guys, enjoy your Valentine's Day. If you're single, enjoy your Singles Day. Have fun, and we talk wrestling again next week. Yeah,
absolutely. We'll see you again, Mr. Young.
And it's Foreign in the building. Take care.
Kick to the gut. I like it.